All right. Now, it's a big, big time for the East Fremantle Footy Club. Mark Stewart is the club president. Mm-hmm. Can we introduce him with his club song? Here we go. Cheer the blue and the white, honor the shark by day and by night. Lift that royal banner high. Oh, yeah. Tell you what, once upon a time, East Fremantle dominated football. Yep. They were right up there with the Port Adelaides of this world, and in recent times they've struggled a bit, but I tell you what, it's onwards and upwards because they've got the big redevelopment happening down at Moss Street in East Fremantle. And they're creating a bit of interest today because it's the official launch of their tenure at the WACA. Yep. And Mark joins us online. G'day, Mark.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we? Good afternoon.
We're well, mate. How did you get involved with East Fremantle, Mark?
Well, it's interesting. My family lived in East Fremantle. My dad lived in Dalgety Street, and Mum lived in Clayton Street. And I followed East Fremantle as a kid my whole life, and then when we lost the Centenary Grand Final, I punched a wall on the way out. My wife said, you should deal with that. And I said, I'll go and sit on the board for a couple of years. And 16 or 17 years later, away we go. So it's funny how this all works, isn't it?
No, well done, mate. You've got to have passion for your club. I can recall crying after Subiaco lost a game back in the early 70s. So I then remember that it's only a game. We've got to remember that as well. But it's exciting times, and we were aware of the fact you were going to the WACA. It's all official now, and it's going to be unveiled officially today. Tell us what you know.
Well, it's an exciting time for the club, and I think it's exciting for the WACA as well. I think the ability of having another facility that we could play waffle footy at sort of presents itself. For East Fremantle, there's been a number of people on our board, Con Trippy, Dave Edinger, who go back many years, Johnny McManus, David Miller, where we've talked about this redevelopment for many, many years. And something that we spoke about probably close to 20 years ago is now coming to fruition. And for the club to be based at the WACA, it's a high-class facility, and while our oval's being redeveloped, it's just an exciting time for the club.
Right. Will they be day games, Mark, or will you be able to play at night as well?
Majority of them will be day. We'll probably look at that. Again, I think what we've got to be is flexible around what we do and how we do it. We'll closely watch the first couple of games, see how that goes. We've got a game in Northampton this year as well, so the Sharks are on the move. Right.
And what about your training facilities? What are you doing there?
So we're still training at the club. We're looking at training at Coburn. So the Dockers have been great in assisting us in having somewhere to train while... because our whole oval will get pulled up, so there'll be new grass and everything. So it's going to be, you're going to come back there in a couple of years' time, and it's going to be a big transformation. Yeah,
it was a real big job to keep it afloat. Really, it was falling apart.
It's an old facility. It's been around a long time. It's seen a lot of people. I don't think we could squeeze much more out of it, but it's certainly got its value.
Without a doubt. So what's the plan this year? How many games will we see at the WACA?
So we'll play all of our home games at the WACA with one exception. That's the game we'll have at Northampton. Geraldton's a big part of our community. It's our zone. It's our family. So the ability for us to go up to Northampton, that town is still coming back from that cyclone, and the board spoke last year about how we could move one of our home games up there to help the community at Northampton. So we'll be playing East Perth up there. I think it's round 3, and we look forward to doing some real country footy.
Good on you, mate. What date's the first game at the WACA?
We're away, then we've got Northampton, we're away, and then we're back. So looking about round 4.
Round 4, okay. Gives the chance for the ground to be utilised for other purposes. Well, good to see you find a home. How long are you there for?
I think there's going to be a chance that we'll be there for 2 years. So we would have hoped to have started the development by now. There's been some delays just in regards to what's going on with the building industry. Obviously, COVID has been a challenging period. But, we would hope to get underway. So, we were talking April. I think it's going to be more like June. And then the demolition will start. There'll be the ovals. The key thing with this redevelopment and what we're looking at doing very differently here is our main social hall and our administration will stay there through the whole redevelopment. So if you come down to the club on Friday night for a drink, you'll be able to see what's actually taking place because we're the main social hall and the administration is that'll be a car park, and that part will be demolished right at the very end when everything else is finished.
Right, very good. All right, well, I'd be keen to have a look at what you're doing, and we wish you all the well, and let's hope you can have some success on the field.
So round 4, May 7, East Fremantle playing West Coast at the WACA. I'd really encourage all the East Fremantle faithful, whether you're a member, whether you're a supporter, just get down to the WACA and support the Sharks.
Yeah, I might get down there myself. Good on you, Mark. Take care.
Thanks for your time.